What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 42, and we start today's stuff with a recap of what happened at the Euros in 2024. As you can see, England, who of course reached the final back in 2020/2021, were knocked out in the semis by the eventual winners Spain, who beat Austria, reaching the finals but lost on penalties. So yeah, Spain, European champions in 2024. Our two representatives, by the way, Ivan Toney at England, of course, that's why they got to the semis, and Big Chris as well. Also, as we do officially end season 3 today, I've been talking about the academy a lot in this series, and I wanted to do a little experiment and see why, most of your players get banished to the Shadow Realm out of your academy at the end of one season following on to a new one, and why you'll have some players that will remain. I promoted quite a few players that had the highest potential, but I left two players that are over the age of 16. One's 18, one's 17, and the rest are 16 and below. Basically, I just wanted to see if there's like a reason why certain players go, whether it's an age thing. Spoilers, but I think it's just completely random and it's a bug that EA need to fix. Anyway, season 3 is done. What a fantastic campaign at the Community Stadium. Brentford finishing in a record high 6th place in the league. We did it. Qualifying for the Europa League was our minimum objective last season, and we delivered on our promise. Our first trip to Wembley was a great day out for the fans too, regardless of the scoreline. We also turned down Dortmund, of course, to stay on fully committed to Brentford, and the board say, let's stay in Europe indefinitely, right? We finished in 6th place last year, qualified for the Europa League. For a long time, we were knocking on the door of the top 4 as well. So for the new season with Brentford, playing European football, we'd find out our budget for the campaign, and it's decent. It's about what I was expecting, and it's not an astronomical transfer budget, which I'm being honest here, I don't want. I didn't want to be given like £90 million in our first season Europa League. I wanted it to be more realistic, and it is. It's just shy of 50 mil. We've got around 47.5 to 50 mil in our budget, and to me that's a realistic budget. But as for our objectives this season, first year in Europe, reach the semi-final of the Europa League, get to the Final Four, and as for our domestic objectives, same as last year, finish in the Europa League spot. We know to the board that's only 5th, but really it can be 5th and 6th, dependent on cup winners, and reach the last 16 in the FA Cup. So our on-the-pitch objectives away from that are to be the top scorers in the league. Last year we were the second highest behind Liverpool, this year be the best. Brave bees, just like last year, challenge the big boys and try and pick up 3 scouts this year. And also, we're in 3 cup competitions this year. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Europa League as well. Let's reach our first final. Come on, let's do it. Last year got to Wembley for the first time ever. I was buzzing about that. Less said about what happened in the semi-final, the better. What was the score again? 4-0? Yeah, I don't really want to think too much about that and dwell on the past, but hey, this is season 4. Let's reach our first cup final. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, or Europa League. Come on, Brentford. I want to get to our first cup final of the series this year. So as I run you through the team heading into season 4, real briefly, I just want to say, as this is Saturday morning, we will have a quadruple upload episode weekend to kickstart the new season. I love it. Love doing quadruples to start a new season off. But I want to say very briefly, just a break away from the immersion, thank you so much for all the support on this series so far. I know at the end of every episode I say thank you for watching, much love to you all, really appreciate your support, but the support on this series has been absolutely incredible. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I am loving FIFA 22. I don't know if you guys can tell in my voice, but I'm absolutely loving playing this game. I've mentioned before, I'm finding it much more challenging, I'm finding it much more difficult. I am starting to get better and starting to get to grips with the game, but believe me, it's still a very challenging and difficult game to play against the AI on Ultimate, and I think it's really adding to the series as well. I just want to say, thank you so much, because the support has been great. Oftentimes in previous career modes, I could have won the Champions League by now. We've literally only just snuck into the Europa League this year for Season 4, so I'm really liking the difficulty, I'm really liking the challenge. Most importantly, I'm loving the support you guys are giving right now. It's been fantastic. Since the very first episode, the support's been great and unwavering. I'm very, very grateful. So yeah, thank you so much. If this is the first series of mine you've watched, or the 20th, sincerely, thank you for all the support. It's been incredible, and there's a long, long way to go. So yeah, as I run you through the squad then for Season 4, and we see it here together. Sean Pratt still hasn't had a potential upgrade, but Gutierrez has. He's now an exciting prospect. You see, we've got a few players that deals come to the end of the year. Quite a lot of youth players, but a couple of noteworthy ones, including Ethan Pinnock, and including Dervis Ogley, and including the captain Ivan Toney as well. Now, I gave a few youth players new contract extensions. Connor Welsh, who's a young CM, got one. Dolan also got one as well. As did Pert Harris, spent a couple of years out at Carrow Road. Still think he's got the potential to be a squad player here. A young goalkeeper we have that's already 67 overall and just 18 years old. But of course, you're waiting to find out when this guy was going to get handed a new contract. Of course, he was going to get one. Top scorer in the Premier League last year, record-breaking 33 goals in the Premier League. Salah's record gone. Goes to Ivan Toney. I don't think I'll ever get him 40 goals ever again, but he's certainly staying, there's no doubt about it. I gave him a big bump of pay packet, 75 grand a week. Didn't need to go that high, but again, I felt for realism, it was the right thing to do. But in terms of incomings with this Brentford team, you see it here, we're a 4.5 star team. I don't really know what to do with around 47.5 mil. Well, the board say don't overspend on players, look for good value for money deals, trust the squad we've got, and don't look to change much in this window. And also keep the band together. Don't need to sell our star players unless forced to, because really, as a team, like, we've grown so much together. Why would we blow it up now? This team is good enough to get us into Europe. We were knocking on the door of the CL last year. I don't think we need to make major changes to the team. You know, sell Ivan Toney for like 60 million, or, you know, sell De Silva for like 35. I don't think we need to do that. You think about the team we've got here, and so much of this squad as a core has remained together. You know, we still got David Raya, we still got Big Chris, Pinnock's a dressing room leader, you got Rico Henry at left back, De Silva on Yaker and Buemo, Tony. We still got so much of our original Brentford core here. And if this team is good enough to get us into the Europa League, and we continue to get better year after year and develop and progress year after year, why aren't we good enough to knock on the door for the top 4 for a second straight season? I don't think we're going to get there. I think we got a chance, but I don't see why we can't be battling for a top 4 place, even if we don't get into the Champions League. I trust this squad, I do, and the board do as well. So, starting the season off, we had a couple of bits for David Raya. I am looking for a long-term successor for David Raya, but because McCarthy was released at the end of the season, if we do get one, then Raya will become our bench goalkeeper to play in Cup and European games as well. Because Raya, last year's second best Golden Glove record, second best clean sheet record, sorry, in the race for the Golden Glove. I know that my defense is absolutely shocking, and Raya can be improved upon. He's now 28 years old, but I still do like him as a backup goalkeeper. But I thought heading into the new season, if we were going to improve, that's probably the position I'd look at the most. So I put several goalkeepers on my shortlist to find a new starting number 1. The one I really wanted was Meslier, but he's just moved on from Leeds to Wolves, which is very unfortunate. Dean Henderson, I wasn't sure about the realism. He's 27 years old now, and now has replaced De Gea as Manchester United's starting goalkeeper. So they won the title last year and almost a quadruple as well. I really wanted him for our English core, but I just didn't think it would be realistic. Pickford won the Golden Glove last year. Livakovic probably a bit out of our price range. So that left me with 2 options. Andre Lunin at Real Madrid, the Ukrainian goalkeeper, out of contract at the end of the season, and also Justin Balo of Feyenoord as well. Now, Balo is 2 ratings higher than Lunin, but he is a year younger. They both cost around the same amount of money. They're both very similar goalkeepers, and in the end, I thought I'd negotiate, see what deals we could pull off. With Real Madrid, we agreed a £21 million deal for the Ukrainian, and as for Feyenoord with Justin Balo, as you can see, we agreed a £26 million deal with the Dutch club, so £5 million more. I really didn't know who to go for here as our long-term successor for David Raya. I mean, it was going to be one of them. I really wanted Meslier. We couldn't get him, so it was going to be one of them. But I loved Balo's stats with the 86 kicking. So important for us playing out from the back. But Lunin as well has 84 kicking. So both very similar goalkeepers. Lunin a little bit taller. But looking at the weekly wage, it was astronomically different. He's on like 87 grand a week. Balo's on 11.5. We have a really good wage structure here. At Brentford, I thought Lunin probably wouldn't take that much of a pay cut and a step down to come and play for us from Real Madrid as well. He could still be the long-term successor for Courtois, so I thought in that case, for realism and also for our wage bill too, I thought Balo was probably the right option. So for £26 million, the 26-year-old arrives, leaves from Feyenoord in a final year of his contract. They cash in on the Dutch goalkeeper, didn't want to lose him for free, and we pick him up on a great value for money deal. Absolutely buzzing about that. I need to get a positioning up, no doubt about it. 78 is not good enough for a top-class goalkeeper, but at 82 overall, 26 years old, I still think he's going to get a lot better. Goalkeepers tend to peak in their late 20s to early 30s, so he's 2 years younger than David Raya, but he's also 3 ratings higher as well. David, we love you to pieces, mate, but it's time to take a back seat in this Brentford team, become our Cup and European goalkeeper. Justin Balogun is in. The fact of the matter is my defence is so poor, so we need a class goalkeeper that can bail me out. Raya has done so on occasion, but I always felt we could still improve, and I guess that's what the very best do. Even when they're not bad, you still look to improve. And also as well, by the way, here's the experiment that failed. We've only got 2 players left in our academy now. Yeah, the experiment did not give me any results whatsoever. Okay, fair enough. It's a bug. So for our youth academy objectives this season, keeping it real low-key. Just keep 1 scout in England, but let's take a breather this year and focus on developing our current youth players, and also give our current graduates more game time this year, or loan them out if we can do. I put the vast majority of our youth players on a loan list, but I find it so hard to loan players out. I don't know if you guys had the same experience as me, but it's just really difficult. It's just really, really hard to get loan bids for your youth players and get them loaned out to other clubs. But yeah, I think this year I'll probably just send 1 scout out. We've got an abundance of youth players here already in the first team. I think we need a breather. I think we need a year off. We'll send 1 of our scouts out looking for those London talents here with Brentford, but I think for the most part, we need to focus on the current youth players we've got and not keep looking to stack our academy up with players that might not get much game time in the future. So real briefly, I did change Lookman's position from left mid to centre forward. I said I was going to do that at some point, and I've done so now. And also 2 bids here, 2 big bids from Italian sides. Sangare, 1 year with us, now wanted by Milan. We rejected it, however, because I really liked him last year, transitioning from holding mid to centre back. You know I love those ball playing centre backs, and you know I love those transitions. But also as well, Dervisoglu, out of contract at the end of the season. We extended his deal. We gave him 1 year extra last season, and the only reason we did that is because we didn't want to lose him for free. Whilst he's a decent squad striker at 76 overall, the fact of the matter is he's just not going to get a game. It wasn't fair to keep him here against his will, so after all the years, all the loan spells, Dervisoglu has officially gone for 7.1 mil to Genoa in Serie A. It was just the right thing to do, because I could just keep on extending his contract year by year by year by year, a rolling 1 year contract, you know. He just never plays and he never goes, but I didn't think it was fair, and for realism too, I felt by now he probably would have left. So yeah, Dervisoglu goes, and there you go, he's off to Genoa for 7.1 mil, so just over 30 mil in our budget now as we reject these bids for Tuanzebe. By the way, the newly promoted sides for this season were, as we expected, Sheffield United coming up alongside Brighton, and also Bournemouth, so the top 3 of the Championship last year, heading to the Premier League for this season. But as we head into the new season, with just a 1 signing so far, this is how our team is looking. It's still 4.5 star. I'd say we could become 5 star last year, but we will need to see some more development, particularly I would say from our centre mids in this team, on Onyeka and Josh Da Silva as well. But heading into the opening day, as you would have seen by my pre-match interview, this season, Europa League minimum target. The board have said keep us in Europa League, keep European football here at Brentford, and for me, that is again the minimum target. I think we can knock on the door for Champions League football, but the most important thing is quite simple. Just don't drop out of the Europa League. So yeah, first game of the new season, and 14 minutes in, we will take the lead. Southampton away, South Coast, Ralph Hasenhüttl's side, and oh my god, every single time he gets a goal, I say the common phrase, and I'll say it once again, transitions take time. You think Nikita Dragon got to where she is in 1 year? No, it took a long time. Same for Brian and Mbuemo. First couple of years, didn't really know what to play him. Eventually, he became an official central attacking midfielder, and now he's really flourishing, man. Last year, 11 goals and 11 assists, and on match day 1, picks up where he left off and gives us the opening goal of the game. The Saints would level not long afterwards, get back on level terms, but this was such an open game. Both teams were really going for it, and we talked about it before, how in this year's FIFA, defending and clean sheets at times can just be almost impossible. This was one of those games where it was going to ring true. 25 minutes in, we'd already scored, we received 3 goals, 2 of which coming to us. Yeah, Stanley Young bombing down the left, won the assist title last season and gets 1 on the opening day, cuts it across, and there he is, Roberto, the goal machine. Gutierrez had a great season last year, was just overshadowed by Ivan Toney, but this year Roberto wants to say to Ivan, I know you're my mentor, but I'm going for your golden boot this season. So Brentford back in front, the Uruguayan with the goal, but 5 minutes after the restart, oh, Justin on his debut. He's conceded 2, and really this one should have been stopped. Terrier goes for goal. It's not hit with much power. Bailo should have stopped that one there. Poor goalkeeping, and it's back on level terms for Southampton, but not for long. Right before the hour mark, I couldn't catch a breather in this game. It was end-to-end stuff, absolute class, and Roberto Gutierrez smacks in his second of the game and makes it Saints 2, Brentford 3. Absolute thriller on the South Coast, certain to be the first on Match of the Day tonight. And oh, this is already a contender for goal of the season on match day 1. And I've said it before and I'll say it again as Frank Onyeka bangs in his first of the year. Guys, seriously, with long shots being so OP this year, if you can't get in behind the back line of the AI, just pull the trigger. Even if you don't find the back of the net, you'll probably come close to it or maybe get a corner or a deflection out of it. It's worth doing. Long shots this year is so OP, but that was absolutely glorious there from Frank. So, final score, Saints 2, Brentford 4, and the fact of the matter is, and the proof is in the pudding, I can't defend, we can't defend. We might have signed big on Justin Bailo. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference, but like the board said, be the top scorers this year. Well, that's how you start off. 4 goals on the opening day. Brentford are looking like one of the most fearless teams in this division already when going forward. And it's only season 4. But that was this episode of Career Mode, guys. Big fan. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. It's a quadruple upload weekend. No like target, but like is very much appreciated. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.